The impact of influence, the Black Knights. They were called the mighty, mighty Black Knights. Thank you. It's such a simple thing to say. It always means more than the words themselves. Always. Whenever impact is present, the words thank you should be present as well. Influencers are everywhere. They come in many sizes, shapes, and colors. Each one has the capacity to positively change and redirect the lives of the people near and far. Heroes do so for the greater good. The greatest of them not only change the direction and trajectory of life, but they also create more influencers. Great communities make great families and great people. Great people and great families make great communities. One of the reasons why I started my own love project, Love Prince, was to be able to say thank you to people for who they are, what they have done, and what they are doing. These are the people who did something along the way to form my life as it is. Some did these things on purpose, out loud, and directly. Some did so in my sightline path, and in my shared path, they became part of my journey. I have said repeatedly that I am covered in love, and I will continue to share the good people who did that covering. I'm proud of my beginnings. I was raised by a community of family, friends, teachers, and coaches who barked at me when needed, smiled often, and loved absolutely. They guided me with firm yet gentle hands, and it gave me a well-lit path to walk on. Some did so without realizing that they had an army of young people following them. Or maybe they knew and simply made it look like they didn't. What I can tell you is that the neighborhoods that I grew up in and ran in were diverse, colorful, and loving. They were also full of people who taught by doing, who were constantly present, cared enough to tell you what you needed to know rather than what you wanted to hear. The mighty black and gold, they were the Black Knights of Arlington, Virginia. They were a local sports organization. They were a mix of everything and everyone in South Arlington. Black, white, brown, yellow, every color that exists. They all fell under one black and gold umbrella. If you grew up in Arlington back in the day, you recognized the colors black and gold. You knew that whoever was wearing those colors had a connection to everyone else who wore or had worn them, past and present. If you saw someone wearing these colors, you might ask his or her last name so you could send home a hug or a smile to someone or everyone in that family or that house. You knew that person's siblings, their neighborhood, even their friends. And they knew you too. You were a Black Knight. The Black Knights were not just about sports, but so much more. The Black Knights were for everyone. The Black Knights were about the families that trusted the Knights with their kids and their kids' well-being. The Knights were about standards. People called them the mighty Black Knights. Perhaps you could feel their spirit best during basketball season and the team's twice-a-week stops at Swanson Middle School. Fans would sit in the stands and watch the older legends play, catch up with the other teams, and say hi to friends who played on other squads. Because basketball teams are smaller than football teams, many Knights had to play for other teams during basketball season. Football season was the flagship Knight sport, but soccer, baseball, and softball were just amazing. The locals would spend their weeknights and all-day Saturdays at games in South Arlington. To watch different age groups play, they would start at Barcroft or Bluemont, then move to Thomas Jefferson or Kenmore, and finally they would head to Yorktown High School to watch the oldest kids. Everyone watched every age group and every level. During baseball games, we would chase foul balls and return them for snow cones during the day. The younger football players wore white pants, so it was like a coronation when you grew up enough to wear the awesome gold pants. Then you could spray paint the black helmets on Friday night so that they were gorgeous and shiny for Saturday morning's games. It was the thing. But my favorite was following the amazing Black Knight cheerleaders as they showed out every week. Apologies to my Bearcat cheerleaders and such. From the team tents with great food and Black Knights gear to seeing each of Arlington's teams roll through, each game provided an awesome experience. I talk a lot about the Black Knights community, the family and families the brothers and sisters, and the teammates. The black and gold always managed to make the world seem large and comfortable at the same time. The names meant something because of the people that carried and honored them, and the families extended beyond the games, the fundraisers, and the colors. They extended into homes, playgrounds, parks, and fields. From Little League through adulthood, certain families were always present. No matter if it was playing games, watching games, coaching games, or working them, they were present. From mom to daughter to brother, in family and friendship, they always provided light, direction, and advice. They showed up consistently, from keeping score to bringing drinks for the teams and snacks for the coaches, to giving a pat on the back, no matter how the games went. At the top of this list, there were great families and coaches. Some of my favorites were Coach Jim McKinney, Tom Terrell, Ed Hunter. Whether you called them Coach or Pop, it resonated the same. Among those names, Hunter shines for me for several reasons. The Hunters were a family. They were friends. They were my home away from home and a landmark in my life. The families were fence posts in the community, meeting places, boundary setters, and standard carriers. They were home. You could see everyone on any given practice night or game day. If you checked in with these families, you'd know what was going on within minutes. You knew parents had worked late, who had big station wagon, who also had the best family meals, and who had the best backyard for after-practice get-togethers. Any parent was everyone's parent. I'll repeat that. Any parent was everyone's parent. Any child was everyone's child. And oh, what a wonderful family it was. The Black Knights were also family and friends, like the Hunters. They were always present no matter what. You could count on them for a ride if you needed one, or away from the corner house. They held boundaries and kept their lights on for you. As a Black Knight family, we maintained standards and gave each other structure and advice, depending on what the people needed. The Knights were even there to growl at you if they saw you doing something beneath being a Black Knight. Yet they were always there to smile if you were being a better version of yourself and them. Always there, always. I can say the same for quite a few of the other individual Black Knight families, but Ed, Jimmy, and Tom are great examples of Love Prince itself. We felt their impact all over Arlington County and beyond. I would be failing if I did not use this space to tell them so. Gentlemen, you made the county home for many. You made it better, and I'm saying thank you. For a lot of us, you deserve it. Thank you, one and all. Great people make great families. Great families make great people. The last names of the Black Knight families were calling cards, business cards, and most definitely ID cards. We all knew the names that coached us. The last names of the Black Knight families were calling cards, business cards, and most definitely ID cards. We all knew the names that led us, coached us, taught us, and loved us. And pardon me now if I miss a name or family. I would be here all night if I listed everyone. Plus, I'm old and my memory is leaking. You knew the names. They were on the call list. This was before email, texting, and cell phones. There was this list, this magical list, had every home phone number, landlines. You gotta love it. They were on the address list. They were on the address list so that parents knew where to drop off those rideless kids. Everyone needed the home numbers because some dear sweet soul would call the entire roster to update folks on practices, games, weather, and game texts. I still remember so many of those families, the K family, the Hunters, the Terrells, the Glasscocks, the Sandersons, the Hollands, the Reeds, the Blackwells, the Goodwins, the McKinneys, the Foxes, the Nays, the Nailers, the Taylors, the Morrises, the Paytons, the Hunts, the Cooks, the Woodies, the Hutchinsons, the Blakes, the Reed. Coach Reed was one of my favorites. He was the get-back coach, the guy who was assigned in football that marched up and down the sideline to get everybody off the sideline. He would demand players get back and away so that coaches and officials had room to move. These were just some of the names that rang out and stood out. In the Black Knights family, these were the folks that followed you home, popped in at school, drove through the neighborhood, and hugged you. That is who the Black Knights were. an extended family, whom you grew up with and who left a love print on everyone. Every Black Knight's mother was a team mother. Each beautiful smile reinforced the family, community, and organization. Everyone looked out for us all, never once making a child in need feel small or less. These women always treated us with open arms and hearts, smiles as bright as the sun, and love unlimited. We were all well-fed, well-dressed, and constantly uplifted in this community of queens. Siblings were also a vital cog in the Black Knight's machine. Sisters who were athletes excelled. They had celebrations in their honor. Often they would take on the boys directly. Those sisters who weren't athletes supported the Black Knights in voice, in numbers, and in spirit. A Black Knight never had to do anything alone. We were always together. We were always connected. To be honest, you probably can say similar things about the club, team, or organization that you grew up in and played for. If so, this is the purpose of this chapter. Take a chance to speak out in love about those people in your life. This is an opportunity to consider how impactful those teams and people were. It is a chance for us to say thank you, to remember why it's important for us to care for those under our guidance and our leadership. I hope that you are thinking of your own version of the Black Knights from Arlington County, Virginia, or of the families that help you grow into the grown-up you are today. If you are, drop those people a letter, shoot them a text, or simply call them and say, "Thank you for your impact on me." In kind, you will be thanking those people for the impact they have on others through you.